I think after the temple dance and after this Amrit Mantam, the beautiful and mesmerizing temple dance and Amrit Mantam, I don't know what am I supposed to be doing here. Everything, all the stuff that has to be spoken has already been spoken by Malia. But having said that, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and I would like to thank the Economic Times for inviting me to be amongst India's top CESOs, data privacy, risk and compliance decision makers who have assembled here today to participate in the 7th edition of the Economic Times CESO Annual Conclave. Since we are at the 7th edition, I was reflecting on this number as well as the topic. Since everyone has been tracing it to mythology, etc., so I'll have to do something similar. So number 7 can be traced to the sun god, riding a chariot of 7 horses. There are 7 days of the week, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 chakras in our body or the 7 factors of awakening, 7 sages or saptarishi, 7 seas, and I understand that you would be enjoying Bollywood band and music composed by 7 musical notes. So the number 7 has come to represent divine perfection, completion, spiritual awakening, enlightenment, inner wisdom, intuition, and connection to the divine. And I think that is what Malia also did refer to. So it seems that we have gathered here today to explore the deeper layers of reinventing enterprise cybersecurity to drive business resilience. And here I would like to say that the Economic Times has used the word reinventing very skillfully. Why? Today we are at the 5th wave of innovation for humankind, having moved from a hunting society to agrarian society, to industrial society, to information society, and now to the creative society. While we still grapple to understand the risks and mitigation of the information society, newer technologies like 5G, big data, cloud computing, etc., AI, and all that, are pushing society towards being creative while driving economic and social impact. Cyberspace, where information society and creative society take their roots, is now considered as the next frontier of the 5th domain after the traditionally recognized domains of land, sea, air, and outer space. And the security of cyberspace has quickly evolved from a technical discipline to a strategic one. Just like the importance of the command of the sea in the 19th century and the command of the air in the 20th century, today command of cyberspace in the 21st century is strategic from the perspective of supremacy. It should be understood that cyberspace, unlike other 4 domains, is man-made or invented and constantly shifting. It now needs to be reinvented, as mentioned by Economic Times, probably because the current cybersecurity mechanisms are struggling to keep up with the evolving threat landscape, which is moving goalpost, always open to exploitation. Today, the exploitation of cyber attacks are becoming more frequent and impactful. The primary goal of the actors is service disruption and infrastructure destruction. It is now clear that cybersecurity is a strategic business enabler for transformation, innovation, growth, collaboration, and partnerships for the corporate world where you all come from. But today's corporate world is very different from what it used to be a few decades ago, when the conditions were stable, competition was fairly predictable, and technological advances were gradual. Today, the corporate world needs to steer itself through and adapt to AJA or VUCA. Have you come across the word AJA or VUCA? Yes, no? VUCA. So what is VUCA? Little louder. Perfect. So now translate that into Hindi or Sanskrit. So, अस्थिरता, अनिश्चितता, जटिलता, अस्पष्टता. So that's AJA, AAJA. So either you are looking at the AJA or the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, right? So to survive and thrive against the AJA or VUCA forces, leaders such as you all need to develop resilience in your organizational structures, your processes, your people, and technology. Protection and resilience strategies cannot be focused solely on technological controls and remediation plans. You need to invoke the human element as well. You need to build digitally resilient cultures in which cybersecurity is an everyday task for core business stakeholders at all levels, both inside and outside the organization. This brings us to the question, what is resilience and why is it important? So cyber resilience we did here on the video is the ability of organizations or business processes to anticipate, withstand cyber attacks, and the capability to contain, recover rapidly, and evolve to improved capabilities from the disruptive impact of cyber attack. So anticipating, withstanding, recovery, and evolving are considered as core principles for resilience. To answer the why part, let me take you to the tragic events of 9/11 which we've just crossed, which had an impact on business. Almost 18,000 businesses were shut or destroyed because they could not anticipate, respond, or adapt to this sudden disruption or adversity with the ability to recover and evolve. Similarly, during COVID, we saw the disruption of supply chains, which also caused various businesses to shut down. Hence, resilience has emerged as a genuine requirement for competitive advantage, leadership, as well as survivability of organizations. It should be understood that this is not a static skill which can be trained through specific, it's not a static skill, but this can be trained through specific cognitive and behavioral practices such that it can become a habit, thereby enhancing the individual's and organization skills to face adverse situations or sudden disruptions. During the dance, we had 5 dancers. Now, taking a cue from that, from a technology and process standpoint, I'm going to touch upon 5 cases that CERT has been involved with so that you understand these issues. The first one is on supply chains and third-party partnerships. While they can enhance your operational efficiency and capabilities, they also introduce potential security vulnerabilities. So CrowdStrike, Microsoft, and probably the recent pagers and walkie-talkies are examples of that. The attack surface and supply chain has grown tremendously and are extremely complex. But do you have the visibility of the impact of cyber incidents in supply chain on the 4th, 5th, or 8th supplier? Yes, no? No. So compromise in these third-party systems lead to significant cybersecurity issues, and that is what we are seeing. And there is also a need for clearly defined contractual agreements. The cases that we've handled, we realize that the contracts are so weak that you have extremely challenging situations when it comes to compromises in the supply chain. Accordingly, as per the World Economic Forum, 54% of organizations have insufficient visibility into vulnerabilities of their supply chain. The second was also put up on the slides. The organizations which are utilizing cloud services have failed to implement the necessary governance mechanisms and technical safeguards to adequately protect sensitive data stored in the cloud. We've not implemented basic things like multi-factor authentication, database access and audit logs have not been enabled. And after accessing the cloud environment, the attackers have deleted the database, the data-related files stored in the cloud, as well as carried out encryption to demand ransom, and people are paying ransom despite having a no ransom payment policy in the organization. Do you have a no ransom payment policy in the organization or pay ransom? and still go ahead and pay ransom when it. So, complete violation of the policy, as usual. And also what we are seeing is crypto mining activity is being carried out as a consequence of weak cloud configuration, allowing remote access, no monitoring of cloud resource utilization. The SOC that you have does not detect CPU and memory spikes related to crypto mining activity and other potential malicious outbound network connections. The third is rise in targeted attacks, which are becoming more sophisticated and precise. The criminals are employing advanced techniques to focus their attacks on specific organizations rather than anyone and everyone, leveraging detailed information and tailored strategies. These targeted attacks often involve methods, as you are aware of, spear phishing, but now with AI, where attackers craft personalized messages to deceive individuals into revealing not only sensitive information, but also installing malware. And targeted attacks against organizations are being carried out by APT actor groups, and they are using rats, shadowpad, plugx, downloaders, ransomware, web shells, credential stealers, etc. to carry out their operations. The fourth is notable rise in cyber attacks targeting APIs. APIs, as you all know, have become an integral part of today's app ecosystem, including mobile, IoT, microservices, cloud environments, etc. And these are increasingly exploited by attackers due to vulnerabilities such as inadequate authentication, insufficient input validation, and security misconfigurations. These attacks are leading to unauthorized access to sensitive data, manipulation of transactions, and service disruptions. Actors who are launching DDoS attacks causing service interruptions or disruptions because of this. We've carried out various audits. This is the fifth one. We've observed vulnerabilities arising due to programming or coding error, such as improper error handling, improper validation, no proper session management, malicious file uploads, insecure cookie attributes, and a variety of other things. So these cases clearly indicate that there are 5 things that you can do. Again, I'm going back to the number 5. Improve your vendor risk management by enforcing stricter security requirements for third-party vendors, including regular audits, patch management protocols, and contractual obligations. Second, enhanced detection and response capabilities, where you need to invest in advanced detection technologies such as AI-driven security solutions to detect APTs and other sophisticated attacks at an early stage, and strengthening incident response plans with well-defined roles and responsibilities so as to ensure swift action in the face of incidents. The third, strengthening collaboration, including with CERT-India, which is essential, and timely compliance with shared intelligence, which can help you quickly respond to emerging threats. The fourth is focus on endpoint security and resilience, and this includes having stronger encryption, network segmentation, stress testing against potential DDoS and ransomware attacks. And fifth is mandatory security audits to ensure that all vulnerabilities are promptly addressed and reducing your attack surface. Based on the report and also what I'm still observing is that you all are still approaching the cyber security challenges with disconnected point tools, manual processes, and inadequate staffing. So you're making sure that we are not going to be resilient. So does the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team or CERT-India help you in this digital age to be resilient? I'll again touch upon 5 areas, how we help. We have operationalized an automated cyber threat intelligence platform to facilitate exchange of strategic, tactical, and operational threat intelligence with various entities. And this platform pushes threat intel in near real time, and this intelligence is specific, relevant, and curated for your organization or for the sector. This platform actually will help you understand who's targeting your organization and how are they targeting it, thereby helping you to reliably evaluate the availability and exploitability of your organization, digital and physical assets. We also set up the National Cyber Coordination Center to generate necessary situational awareness of existing and potential cyber threats and enable timely information sharing and proactive, preventive and protective actions. We also deployed honeypots, which provide details of CVEs being exploited in your network. And let me tell you, on an average, we have issued 40 vulnerability exploitation alerts per month this year, and 84% of them pertain to critical where the CVSS rating is 9 or 10. So you can imagine what is happening in your networks, and if you did not have that visibility, you need to start looking at what you have very, very seriously. The third is we have operationalize the Cyber Swachhta Kendra. How many of you are aware of it? I see only a few hands. So a lot of you are not even aware of what the Cyber Swachhta Kendra is, and this is a free service that we give to all organizations, and basically to secure India's digital IT infrastructure, which gives you information about malware or bots which are there in your networks and systems, and the vulnerable services which are open, which you may want to shut. This is a PPP model that we have adopted, and today we are covering 94% of the digital population of this country. We are giving a daily feed to more than 1,026 organizations, and this is helping them become more resilient and better, so they understand what malware is running in their systems, as well as what vulnerable services are open. And the fourth one is we have empaneled 176 auditing organizations to do technical audits, and they have over 2,500 auditors, and they cover security of networks, wireless, cloud, ICS, mobile apps, APIs, blockchain, and also AI and ML. The fifth one is, as I mentioned, resilience is not a static skill, but it can be trained through specific cognitive and behavioral practices. And we carry out cybersecurity mock drills and exercises, both domestically as well as at an international level. Till date, we have carried out 104 of them for regularly assessing the cybersecurity posture and preparedness of organizations, and over 1,400 have participated in these exercises. Has your organization participated? Yes, no? Show of hands, yes? Few. You know, when we started these exercises in 2009, how many participants did we have? Any guesses? 9. Okay? And this was a basic awareness. Today we have evolved and developed our own crisis exercise platform, having capabilities to conduct advanced exercises and also conducting international drills. You must be thinking that these similar exercises are conducted across the globe by various entities. So what is unique about CERT's exercises? Our exercises involve application of scientific methodologies such as cognitive and learning models to assess the effectiveness of experiential learning, building higher order skill sets in participants, and quantification of these exercise outcomes. So these are just few examples of what we have been doing. So what do you need to do to reinvent cybersecurity? Again, let me talk about 5 things. To ensure that your own resilient defenses, you have to understand that there is now a need to implement adaptive and continuous protection of data while providing the ability to proactively manage threats, implying that you cannot trust users, devices, or connections for any transactions, whether inside or outside the organization's network without verification. This approach will help in moving the perimeter to each resource and requires trust to be accurately evaluated by properly implementing multi-factor authentication and role-based access control. So effectively using no trust or zero trust to build trust in this hyper-connected world. Second, your organizational relevant risk-based approach needs to help you figure out quickly how you can trust new technologies so as to implement secure by design principles and integrate the new technologies safely and securely. You will need to integrate AI, ML to help you with proactive threat hunting, round-the-clock monitoring of threats, continuous audits, improving your processes, and at the same time leveraging AI to augment human expertise for the desired resilience. These technologies can help you with continuous threat exposure and exploitability management. The desired state is to detect threats in under 1 minute, investigate within 10 minutes, and respond within the hour. Are you ready? Are you geared up? With 5G, this will be worse. The software supply chain and APIs will continue to be a prime target. And the lack of visibility into the full software stack, coupled with delays in obtaining accurate and timely data from suppliers, will hinder their ability to respond effectively, thereby impacting resilience. So a collaborative effort between consumers, suppliers is required to provide comprehensive visibility into the software supply chain through a machine processable document which corresponds to an electronic bill of material, providing a detailed inventory of software components, dependencies, and their hierarchical relationships, or a SBOM and a CBOM. So SBOM is software bill of material, and what is CBOM? So what's CBOM? Cryptographic bill of material. So that's the need of the hour going forward for being stable and secure. The fourth is to manage the complex ecosystem of interdependencies. The need is now for cyber resilience across the entire ecosystem. There are many regulations which are coming up, but as a community, can you share your resources by defining clear boundaries and guidelines with the entire ecosystem so as to collectively make it resilient and clearly mapping the ecosystem, dependencies, and risks in a trusted manner, similar to SBOM and CBOM, something for you to chew. And the last, the attackers are now using AI, ML, and new technologies where the attacks are 3 S's, that is extremely sophisticated, stealthy, and at speed, for the purpose of 3 Ds, which is duress for extortion, defaming, and destructive purposes. So how do you cope up with preparation for such situations in terms of detection, analysis, containment, response, and recovery, so as to remain resilient? There is an urgent need for capable people who are agile, passionate, and well-trained in the science and art of cybersecurity and have a good understanding of various frameworks and standards. The skills and talent shortage is widening at an alarming rate, and according to Drop Talent Database, there is a 29% gap in cybersecurity demand and supply needs in India. This security skills shortage is leaving all of us at increasing an alarming risk of cyber attacks and requires concerted efforts if we need to be resilient. Research has indicated that there is a 21% higher ROI by investing in people for cyber security. So I would encourage you to invest in training the first line of defense, or collaborate with such organizations which have a structured approach for training cyber defenders and providing them to the industry. What we are observing is you people and what is on the ground, there's a huge disconnect, and that is causing issues and challenges. I also noticed that you are going to have some engrossing sessions, as was mentioned, with some celebrities. So what is common in these celebrities and cybersecurity needs that you can learn? The top trait is resilience. To bounce back from setbacks. The second is focus or concentration. And third is consistency. So how does all this tie back into completion of perfection as mentioned for the number 7? It takes me back to what I said earlier, Aja or VUCA. And how do we go forward to a full circle to an evolved and resilient Aja or VUCA? So now what is this new Aja or VUCA? Any idea? Antardrishti, Avbodh, Jyoti, Akram, or vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. So I look forward to the collective vision and understanding that you, the top CESOs and decision makers here have and can bring to the table for ensuring holistic resilience with clarity and agility so that we together can reinvent cybersecurity and drive business resilience with VUCA Aja. Thank you.